What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good day. Today I want to kind of answer the question for myself and for all of you guys as well. What does it mean to live a good life? So I've been pondering this, and both kind of intellectually and experientially, what does it mean to live a good life? I think living a good life is not about having a lot of material possessions. I don't think it's about having a lot of status. I don't think it's about having a lot of security. And I also don't think it's about shunning any of those things. So I'm not telling you to, go live in the Himalayas and not care about society. That's not my view. My view is that those things in themselves are essentially meaningless in terms of this question, what it means to live a good life. Now, you could be rich, famous, and have high status, and also still live a good life. And you could be middle class and also live a good life. I think those variables are independent of what it means to live a good life. And so actually getting to the question, what does it mean to live a good life? To me, it means taking in every moment as they come and leaving your heart open to what arises in your consciousness. What does it mean to keep your heart open? That's a very vague term. Keeping your heart open to every new experience means embracing every new experience you have and seeing the beauty and the value in it. So we have this personal sense of self. It's these ideas and feelings and identities that we hold about ourselves, which are in fact an illusion. They're in fact not true. That believe that life should be a certain way. These conditionings within us, they make us believe, and when I say us, they make our sense of self believe that life needs to be a certain way. Now, your personality believes life needs to be a certain way, but your true self, the consciousness behind yourself, just what you truly are as consciousness, it does not have a preconceived notion of what it wants life to look like. And I believe a good life is living with your heart open, which means living from this space more and more of your consciousness rather than your sense of self, your person. This transitory idea you have about yourself that you take to be you, running your life and thinking things should be a certain way. When you can let go of that and instead live from your true self and embrace every experience that comes through your consciousness as a blessing, you see the beauty in it and you don't resist it, that, in my opinion, is the most wise you can be and the best way that you can live your life. And it doesn't mean that you don't try to, try is the wrong word. It doesn't mean that you don't do anything. It doesn't mean that you don't necessarily aspire. I think it means that you take each moment and you serve it to the best of your capability. Not through ambition and this kind of worried sense of worthlessness that a lot of us have. It's not through that. You serve this moment out of love. You, as your consciousness, does its best to work with what's here and make this world a better place. Not out of ambition. Ambition is, in my opinion, a negative word, a negative state of being. Ambition is, I don't like how it is now, and I fear that I won't get what I want. Therefore, let me struggle and toil to make things be exactly the way that I, in terms of my person, wants. That's ambition. And ambition is cruel. Ambition is poisonous. Ambition makes people do things that ultimately make you a bad human being. Like, when you take your personal wants and desires to be the pinnacle, to be the absolute pinnacle of your life, then you'll do anything to achieve it. And a person that will do anything to just achieve their personal wants and desires is a very dangerous person, and not in a good way. So, kind of full circle, what does it mean to live a good life? Keeping your heart open, you're serving each moment as it comes. Out of love. Sorry, this freaking mirror, or this shade, is making me look like Batman right now. Serving each moment as it comes. And these negative experiences, what we deem negative, yes, there's pain in this world. Yes, there are painful experiences. But if you take a deeper glance, every painful experience has something to learn from it. And even the most, crushing heartbreak has almost this sense of beauty to it. And when we look back on our lives, we can see that actually a lot of the most important experiences we had in terms of the things that made us grow, those experiences are what our person, our sense of self, believes was a negative experience or didn't want to have it happen. In fact, if your person, and when I say person, I'm referring to this false sense of self, this false identity, this false idea we all have of ourselves. If that were to get everything it wanted, our lives would suck ultimately, because we would never struggle with anything. It would be this hedonistic kind of cesspit. None of us would grow ultimately if we just got everything we wanted. It would be like, the stereotypical diva girl who just grew up in a rich family and, everything she ever wanted was just given to her. Do we truly aspire to be that person, to be that being? No, I don't think any of us do. So why do we shun our negative experiences? Why do we shun the things we don't want to have happen when they happen? It's because I don't know what the reason is, actually, frankly. But it is my opinion that a life well lived is one where we embrace all experiences. We honor life, man. We honor life. And for something that exists to be shunned, it means that we're not facing reality. So we've really been, the conditioning of the masses, the conditioning of society, it really didn't give us a lot of great ideas. And it's really easy to not think for yourself. It's really easy to just pick up these belief systems and not question them. But when you really take a deeper look at, what society has given us, a lot of it is ultimately crap. So we put our self-worth on how productive we can be. And if you're not producing enough for this machine that we live in, then you're unworthy. And this lives in us, man. This twisted, sense of needing to be, how do I describe this? If we put our self-worth on how productive we are and how well we're contributing to this machine, I believe that is detrimental to us. I think serving each moment out of love and compassion and doing our best is all we really can ask for. And to shun someone who doesn't spend 16 hours out of their 16 hours being productive is ridiculous. And I think this idea, it really how do I say this? It really just takes our ability to stay open. Because how do you stay open to what comes into your awareness and these new experiences? How do you stay open to life when you're constantly just focused on you and staying afloat, if you will? I feel like you can walk by, you could hurt yourself, and there'd be a good 9 out of 10 people that would just walk by you and not do anything to help. And I think the reason that is because people are so absorbed in themselves. People are so absorbed in what they're doing, what they want in that moment, that they don't have their heart open. And what that leads to is you're not serving this moment that's in front of you out of love. You're serving it out of ambition. So I kind of feel like this video's gone into the, love versus ambition. And I would very much say that living a good life is living one out of love, not out of ambition. And that means you love everything. You love everything. It doesn't mean that you're always in a state of love. You can have horrible heartbreak, and I'm not saying that you just won't be destroyed by it. But what I'm saying is, while you're feeling that destruction, that just utter grief and loss, you still honor it out of a place of love. You still honor it out of a place of, your wholeness. So choose love over ambition. And let go of yourself. A lot of spirituality, stoicism, it all ultimately comes down to annihilating yourself. It's letting go of all this junk that you're believing and put up with. It's like growth is not addition, growth is subtraction. It's like you're pure as a child, you're pure as this consciousness as a child, and you become tainted as you get older. And the most ironic thing is growing as an adult, growing as a being, is about becoming more childlike in terms of reverting back. But you're not becoming childish, you're becoming childlike. Childish is immature. Childish wants freedom and doesn't want to work. That's not what I'm asking. Becoming childlike is removing, and not removing by force, but just letting go of these negative things that run you, and choosing it's a practice. You know, this is not something that's just easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. It comes down to relaxing and letting go of your innate tendencies to cling to things, to try to manipulate things, and to live from this sense of person, and to start and just slowly let go of that. That's what true spirituality is. And to be a spiritual being is to live a good life. And ultimately, it is all inside of us. It is inside everyone. There's not a single human on this planet who doesn't exist from this space. They just might not know it. So I hope that wrapped it up for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys understood what I was saying. I got a comment from someone who I won't name. They just said I kind of don't speak concretely enough, and I agree with that. I feel like talking about this subject, sometimes it's hard to use English language to kind of communicate things that are not so like pragmatic, things that are not so concrete. And to reference what I try to speak about, it needs to come from experience. It does not need to come from the intellect or from the mind. This is an experience of what you truly are. And I think it's sometimes hard to describe, because you actually can't describe what you truly are, because what you truly are is beyond words. It is beyond description, because to describe something means that it has form, and what you are doesn't have form. Because if what you were was a form, then that would also be seen, because all forms come and go, and what you truly are does not come and go. It is the thing that sees all forms. And to live from that space, I think is beautiful. Hope you guys had a great day, or are having a great day. Depends where you are, what time zone you're in. And love you all. See you in the next one.